Hello everyone, my machine's in the shop at the moment, so I haven't been able to make any new videos. So I raided the East Coast ATV archives and found some videos that I took at a rally in Chester, Nova Scotia from a few years ago. This is an annual event in January and it's really popular in the area with around 600 to 1,000 machines showing up throughout the day to travel along a predetermined track that was designed by the local club that's about 50 kilometers, which is about 30 miles. It rained a few days prior and then it froze up quickly, so the conditions were extremely icy, which made it challenging, especially for those of us that didn't have any studded tires. ATV rallies like this generate much needed revenue for local ATV clubs, and this particular rally has so many people show up that local ATV dealers will show up and show their machines off around the trail in different areas so that people can stop and take a look if they want to. Chester, Nova Scotia is a few hours away from where I live, but that's fine because that meant I had the opportunity to take a road trip. Certain sections of this trail are width restricted, so you're going to see me coming up to a really tight barricade here, so side-by-sides wouldn't be going through here, but there are sections where they can start at a different area and still follow pretty much most of this loop. In case you're wondering why there's two-way traffic here, usually the rally's set out to have one-way traffic only, but there were so many people that were taken by surprise by how icy the trail conditions were, they decided to turn around and go back and not finish the rally that day.
Holy Jesus, can't see.
This section here that we're turning up is pretty much the start of the trail for some of the people, depending on which direction you were coming from. And as you can see here, it was pretty icy. Machines started coming sliding back down the hill here. It's a good thing I had a heavy-duty bumper on the front of my old Sportsman 500 there. Bob couldn't get any grip at the middle of the hill there, so he had to back down and get himself a run on.
I don't. Neither does he.
That guy behind me was asking if we had studded tires on.
Icy, huh? It's icy. Somebody stuck?
I guess so. Have you got enough food and clothing to last tomorrow morning?
Nope. Clothing, no food. Well, we got the stuff you brought.
This is going to take a while.
Bob said it was going to take a while to get through, and he was right. Every now and then we'd come to an intersection or a hill where it was so icy people would just get backed up, and because there were so many of us, it would just take a while to get through. That guy in the yellow Commander was having a real hard time.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Whoa.
My turn.
Thanks. I'll get you there.
For those of you that live in warmer climates, you're probably wondering what that little box is on my handlebar with all the lights. That controls my heated hand grips and my heated thumb grip. When we live in colder climates up here in Canada, you need those for sure. This was a poker rally, so every now and then you had to go to a checkpoint to get yourself a new card to see who had the best hands in the game. And at the end of the day, they were giving out prizes based on what your hands were. John and Bob and I were doing this route together. We waited here for I don't know how many minutes before we finally got out because there was just so many machines going by. Thank goodness for editing. Driving on ice like this with an ATV can be treacherous, especially if you don't have studded tires. But this machine I was driving at the time, this old Polaris Sportsman that I had, it was an awesome machine, tough as nails. It had engine braking, and the way Polaris Sportsman's all-wheel drive system works, it only sends power to the rear wheels. And when you're driving along, you don't really have four-wheel drive. There's no power going to the front unless your back tires start spinning. And every time you let off the gas, the engine braking would lock up just the back wheels only because there was no power going to the front. So it would create a bad condition where the back end would slide out and the front wheels were still freewheeling and they wouldn't help to slow you down any. Here's a perfect example. There were a few other times when I was going down the trails I thought I was going to end up into the trees. I went on another winter rally like this a few years after that with similar conditions, but I had studs in the tires and it made an incredible world of difference. That stopped happening. That's all for this video, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Please consider clicking the like and subscribe button if you haven't already.